My name is Brock Anderson. I'm the Community Engagement Director for the Buffalo County Historical Society. Ronnie O'Brien is one of our main event coordinators. So Ronnie, if you would, please raise your hand or stand up. Lori Potter is also one of our key people in our committee that put this all together. Then I don't see Gene Hunt, but he is also a key part of today's event. So another round of applause for Gene. So today we begin with honor and respect for the land and its first people to this land. We are on the ancestral homelands of the Pawnee people. The organizing committee members, staff, volunteers, and all of our attendees recognize that the Pawnee have a spiritual connection with these lands in the past, present, and future. Specifically here in central Nebraska, we seek to celebrate and honor the Pawnee Scouts and their descendants. We know as a committee and a community that this celebration and event today needs to extend beyond this recognition. Instead, we must continue a much larger journey of listening, learning, building of relationships, and advocating for and with the Pawnee Nation for a better and brighter future. And so today is a start of that. Absolutely. We've had the Pawnee up here for about 20 years now with the Pawnee corn. Today we get to honor the Pawnee Scouts that had served in the U.S. military in the 1860s and the 1870s and recognize their service and what became central Nebraska and what the Pawnee people refer as such an honorable time in their history. So, and before I continue going on forward, we need to recognize our major sponsors. So the Buffalo County Historical Society Trails and Rails Museum, the Nebraska Arts Council, Humanities Nebraska, the Nebraska Game and Parks, the Nebraska Cultural Endowment, Kearny Visitors Bureau, the City of Kearny, and Pinnacle Bank. Yeah, round of applause for those folks. And if you haven't noticed on your table, you've got several keepsakes. So you see we got this great design of Nebraska and the Pawnee Scouts on them. Warren Pratt, I believe, was the one that had designed that. So that is for you to take home, as well as this great article featured in our Buffalo Tales about Ruling His Son, one of the prominent Pawnee Scouts that is also represented here today. Warren Pratt will begin with our prayer.
Naweri Brock Pawnee Tararu Skiteka Kitaku Skiri Jawa Kika Kiapita Wirata Bakutu School City Kiku here in Nebraska. And so we're glad to be here today. Let's go to the Lord in prayer and seek His blessings. Noah Atias Tirawaha Titako Askitu Tirata Pakadawa Atias Achikskapa Kiskitu Akitaro Tiataku Sakudi Tiri Atias Jaiksi Jarix Pani Kikiu Akitaku Kikiu Pakuta Atias Witiraru Di Witara. Father, you've blessed us in so many ways. And Father, we ask you, Lord, today to bless this food that you've given us, to bless, Father, our friends that are gathered here. But Father, to just bless us, Father, with the strength of our people, Father, who lived and gave their lives, Father, for this country, and Father, gave their lives that we might be here today. And we ask the one, Father, who gave his life for us. His name is Jesus. In his name I pray. Amen.
Nebraska Corn Growers Association and Shelton, Nebraska Farmer. Thank you, Deb. John Lowe, State Senator for District 37, is also with us today. We also have some guests here from the Nebraska Army National Guard. I'd like to introduce them. First Sergeant Adam Dack, First Sergeant Headquarters Troop, 1st of the 134th Cavalry. Major Dan Fritz, Executive Officer, 1st of the 134th Cavalry. Major Kevin Rose, Nebraska National Guard State Equal Employment Manager, former commander of C Troop, 1st of the 134th Cavalry. Brigadier General Lynn Heng, Nebraska National Guard Assistant Adjutant General. Thank you all for being here today. I also would like now to invite Pat Leading Fox, head chief of the Pawnee Nation, to the podium here to introduce some Pawnee tribal representatives.
Well, I didn't know I was going to get put on the spot. Thank you. I just want to start out by saying, it's good to see all our tribal members here. I'm hoping you all could take something really good back with you all from this occasion today. To honor our scouts, our beloved, revered scouts. And so, with that, I'd like to introduce, our president, Miss Misty Nuttall. She's going to give a little bit of talk here in a little bit. I'm glad she was able to, take time out of her busy schedule, to be here. And also we have some chiefs here. Grandson over here, Gilbert Beard. He's our head chief for our Skeety band. And we also have Morgan Littleson. I believe he's the first chief of the Kitkahawkee band. Nephew Adrian Spotted Horse Chief. He's the second chief of the Kitkahawkee band. We were glad to see, our Chiefs Council, half of them being here. So I guess that's all, right? Right. Yeah. Oh, me. I'm Pat Leading Fox. I'm the head chief of our Chiefs Council of the Pawnee Nation.
Okay, so for our next speaker, I'm going to ask Deb Echohawk to come up to the podium. She is the keeper of the seeds for the Pawnee Nation and the executive director of the Pawnee Seed Preservation Society.
I hope everybody is in the best health and spirits today as we celebrate the 2 decades of our remarkable partnership. To express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation, gardeners, for your unwavering support. It's hard to believe that 20 years have passed since we embarked on this incredible journey together. Your dedication to the art of gardening and farming, your tireless work ethic, your genuine passion for what you do have not only sustained us, but have enriched our lives in countless ways. Over the 2 decades, your little plots of land that have been turned into gardens have been more than just a source of fresh produce and the preserving of our ancestral seeds. It has been a symbol of resilience, hard work, and a commitment to quality. Your dedication to sustainable and ethical farming practices has not only nourished our bodies, but has nourished our souls. Through the seasons, you've shared the fruits of your labor with us, bringing the taste of nature's bounty to our tables. You've shown us the value of patience, the beauty of simplicity, and the importance of community. Your farm has been a place of solace and connection, reminding us of the harmony that can exist between humans and land. Your contributions have extended far beyond your fields. You've been a source of inspiration, a cornerstone of our community, and a testament of the power of determination. Your willingness to share your knowledge, your generous spirit, and your warm smiles has made every visit to your farm a cherished memory. As we celebrate a significant milestone, we want you to know that our appreciation for your hard work and dedication is immeasurable. Your commitment to farming is a beacon of hope and a reminder of the values we hold dear. So here's to 20 years of growth, abundance. We look forward to the seasons yet to come, knowing that your farm will continue to be a source of nourishment and inspiration for us all. Thank you for contributing to the hearts and souls of our Homeland Ties community, for sharing your passion with us for the past 2 decades. We are truly blessed to have you in our lives. I'd love to have all of our gardeners stand up and all the seed preservation volunteers and staff stand up from Oklahoma.
Nola, everyone, I'm Ronnie O'Brien. I just want to let you all know what you're having for lunch. We designed this to be something that the Pawnee would have eaten, although it might not have looked like we're eating it today. So we have the buffalo from Fort Robinson. Deb came up early Thursday night. We made the beans, which is 3 sisters. There are beans and squash and corn within the beans that you ate. So our 3 sisters there. Potatoes, they would have been eating wild potatoes, but we have potatoes, and they still eat potatoes with their feast, and we tried to boil them just like they do with the skin on, to cut in half the way they do for their feast there. The watermelon is actually a Riccara tribe watermelon, which is a sister tribe of the Pawnee that was grown here. Most of this was grown by this man right here, Gene Hunt, at Fort Kearny. There's a huge garden just down the way that Gene grew up almost all of his food.
I'm here on behalf of the National Corn Growers and the Nebraska Corn Growers, and I just want to say, wow, this is an incredible gathering and something that I will remember forever. So I have this brochure that many of you have that says share the harvest, or share the history, share the harvest. But when I think about this, it means honor the history and honor the harvest. We are here to honor all of you, the growers, the Pawnee Scouts, the descendants of the Pawnee Scouts. This is about honoring you, and I'm very humbled to stand before you. I want to recognize on behalf of the National Corn Growers and Nebraska Corn Growers that you, the Pawnee, were the first corn growers that this nation had. And because of you, we are in debt to you. Thank you. I have a special gift that I want to present on behalf of the Nebraska Corn Growers, and they are on your tables. We would love for you to take these home, and may they see many more festivities, celebration. They are yours to take home. So on behalf of the Nebraska Corn Growers, please accept our gift of the tablecloths to take home with you. And like I said, I will keep this short. If you have any questions about corn growers, I'm a farmer myself, please feel free to talk, but we've got so many exciting things to do. I'm just going to step away, let the next person come up, and thank you. Enjoy.
You know, kind of to re-epitomize what Deb had just said, the first corn huskers, right? The day after a Nebraska win's always a good day, but today is especially great because we have the first corn huskers that were here. So, as for the next speaker, I'm going to ask for Major Kevin Rose and the Nebraska National Guard to the podium, please. Okay. Nebraska National Guard.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And first of all, I'd just like to say welcome home to the Pawnee tribe. Welcome home. It's great to have you. It's your land. So thank you for letting us be here. So appreciate that very much. So on behalf of my boss, General Craig Strong, who's our Adjutant General, we can't thank you enough for allowing us to be here. I could talk for 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes easily, but they told me I got to keep it really short, so I'm going to do that. So I just want to let you know we are doing the best that we can to carry on the legacy of the Pawnee Scouts. And I saw these on the table. All of us got really excited. My fellow Cav folks here, and they're all Cav. I was Cav a long time ago too. That's where I started as a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout in the first part of my career as a young enlisted soldier. So I understand the history, but y'all started it. Y'all did it way before we did, and we learned from you. And so just in this brief minute here, I just want to let you know, from seeing this really gets us very excited, because this is where it started with y'all, with the Pawnee Scouts. But I just want you to know that we're doing the best that we can to live up to your history, and we can never ever state the claim or accomplishments that you all did for the country and for Nebraska, no matter what we do. But I can tell you that our scouts have been doing everything they can to live up to your reputation, serving overseas in combat on many tours. So I just wanted to let you know that that's what we're doing. We have a cavalry squadron still that still has very strong lineage and ties to your heritage. And initially we still had our insignia that was a Pawnee Scout, that was our Cav squadron in the 167th Cav. And I still wear that proudly on my Class A uniform, just for that purpose. So again, I could probably talk longer than I should, but Kevin, if you can come up here real quick. And I just ask Pat Leading Fox if you could come forward, please, sir. We've got a presentation we'd like to give you. And this is the least we could do, but it kind of goes back to what I was referring to about how we are doing everything that we can to live up to your history and the example that you set for us to be warriors in fighting the evil that exists in the world. So there's a long paragraph on there. I'm not going to read through all of it, but it basically just says that y'all set the example for us to follow. And again, for probably the third time, but not enough, we're going to do everything that we can to live up to your history and honor your reputation. So again, Pawnee Tribe, welcome home. Thank you for everything.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read this citation real quick. It says, "To the Pawnee Nation, in appreciation of the faithful service of the Pawnee Scouts from 1864 to 1871 to the United States Army and the great state of Nebraska, the Pawnee Scouts kept the peace on the prairie and protected new settlements and railroads from hostile native tribes. The Pawnee Scouts' ferocity in battle was legendary and struck fear into the hearts of the enemy. Their scouting ability and fearless warrior spirit were instrumental in bringing peace to the area. The legacy of the Scouts lives on in the Nebraska National Guard's, first the 134th Cavalry Squadron, and their motto, the strong and the brave. The Pawnee Scouts' dedication and service to our state and nation are in the finest traditions of military service. Their actions and bravery bring great credit upon the Pawnee Scouts and the entire Pawnee Nation. This recognition comes with the Nebraska Military Department's highest regard. Signed, Craig W. Strong, Brigadier General, the Adjutant General."
Well, I got no jokes to top that. So I want to invite Misty Nuttall, President of the Pawnee Business Council, to the podium for a presentation.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody that's been in countless meetings and devoting hours. A lot of that is a selfless act, and in order to bring an event like this to fruition, it takes a lot of thoughts, a lot of collaboration and everything, and just having that good intent on your heart and doing that on behalf of our Pawnee people, in remembrance of our scouts and recognition of our Pawnee Seed Preservation Society. I really want to thank you for doing that. And everybody that was involved, all of the VIPs that are in attendance, and all of our Pawnee Akatata that made it, made this trip, this journey up here. It's good to see so many of us that, did do that. At this time, I was asked to come up here and say something on behalf of the Roger Welsh family. So Linda and Antonia, I'm glad that you guys are able to be in attendance. And on behalf of the Pawnee Nation, we're really, really there's no words that can describe the gratitude that we have, for you and your husband's thoughts, in returning that land back to the Pawnee Nation. Because not only, is it the sentiment of the lands, but, we're able to have a means to come back and, create memories with our family and have events like this, reforging relationships, among our people and with everyone in Nebraska that wants to see the best, see things that are good for the Pawnee people and do, what they feel in their hearts is in the best interest, for us to continue, whether it's economic development, whether it's, having that land even just to rebury our ancestors. There's, like I said, there's no amount of gifts or anything that we can do to repay you for that, because that, that just comes from your heart, and that tells the type of people that you are. So, in just doing that, we have a couple of gifts that we wanted to present to you and your daughter on behalf of the Pawnee Nation. So.
Okay, and before we dismiss, I want to ask Pat Leading Fox to come up to the stand. I believe you have a gift for someone.
Yes, I wanted to recognize Gene Hunt, for your years of service, but for this thought of, having this today of our scouts. Can you come up here and help me? I've got something for him. This is a Pendleton blanket. It's of our flag, Pawnee Nation flag. So I'm gonna give this to you to have as a blanket. Thank you for all you've done, all your years of service. Don't be flying it now.
It will keep me warm on chilly mornings like this morning, guys. And I thank you for all the services and all the times you've been able to work with us up here.
Okay. So, meal was good? Thumbs up? Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot more to do today, folks. And if you thought that meal was good, there's also a community picnic tonight at the First Presbyterian Church. Tonight, starting at 5 o'clock, it'll go till 7. So that will be also up north. Okay, the Pawnee, you're more than welcome and invited to come up here. Otherwise, tickets are $5 a piece, and this is part of our community celebration. This is also a time of healing. This is an event that heals this history, recognizes the importance of the Pawnee people, the Pawnee Scouts, and their culture. Okay? Real quick, before we go, I would ask Ronnie, Lori, and Jean to come up here. He's bringing his blanket. It's cold. Big bite of, it's just right all over your face. No, I'm just kidding. So, folks, I've been very fortunate to be a part of this organization, this event, and myself and Jean Hunt and Lori Potter for the last 5-6 months. We've been meeting on a week-to-week basis, every 2 weeks, or however we thought we needed to meet on this. So I just want to recognize these 3 amazing people here. Lori had a great hand in getting a lot of the publicity material out, getting articles put together, reaching out to these various press organizations to highlight and promote this event. Gene, with his great mind and having this space here and having it to be to recognize the Pawnee Scouts, and then of course Ronnie having she is the workhorse, I will say that, for this organization and making this all happen, really. So please give these 3 folks a round of applause. And you're going to hear me about 50 more times, but I'm going to thank our sponsoring entities to make this happen. So the Buffalo County Historical Society, the Humanities Nebraska, Nebraska Arts Council, Nebraska Game and Parks, Kearny Visitors Bureau, City of Kearny, and Pinnacle Bank. One last round of applause for these organizations. Thank you all, and then we'll start. Senator Lowe. Okay. So, Senator Lowe has something for us today.
First of all, welcome home. It's nice to have you back. Did you leave anybody in Pawnee?
Always.
I have relatives like that too. You know, my great-grandfather thought history was very important. So he helped reestablish Fort Kearny because history is important. And that's what we are doing here today, is history. History to tell our children. Hopefully not by social media, but by stories, by telling them, by talking to them. So today, I would like to read a proclamation from the state of Nebraska. I'm getting old. Whereas there was an estimated 1,000 Pawnees who served as Army Scouts from 1864 to 1877. Whereas the Pawnee Scouts used Fort Kearny as their base of operations for a number of campaigns. Whereas the Pawnee Scouts were called the most capable mobile strike force to take the field during that era. Whereas Christopher C. Auger, commanding officer, Department of the Platte, declared in 1867, "I have never seen more obedient and better behaved troops, and that they have done most excellent service. They are peculiarly qualified to serve on the plains. They are unequaled riders, know the country thoroughly, and are never sick, never desert, and are careful of their horses." Whereas Mr. O.G. Hammond, superintendent of the Union Pacific Railroad, said of their effectiveness in guarding the railroad during 1867 to 1868, "These scouts have been enlisted and served in this work for 2 summers, and they are and have been so efficient scouts that the military authorities think them indispensable." Whereas the service of the Pawnee Scouts has been known but not officially recognized. Whereas the Pawnee Scouts were vital in the role of settling Nebraska and western states. Now therefore, I, Jim Pillen, Governor of the state of Nebraska, do hereby proclaim the 7th day of October 2023 as Pawnee Scouts U.S. Military Service at Fort Kearny Day. In Nebraska, I do hereby urge all citizens to take due notice and observe. In witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the great seal of the state of Nebraska to be affixed to this 26th day of September in the year of our Lord 2023. Signed by the Secretary of State and the Governor of Nebraska. He is so sorry he could not be here. Today is Proclamation Day at the Capitol, and there are other proclamations that he had already agreed to, but he did want to send this. So Pat, if you would please, I'd like to present this to you.
Pretty awesome.
Special thanks for the senator keeping me in line there. I can't read my handwriting anymore these days, I'll tell you that much. So folks, now, unless anyone else wants to talk, bad question to ask. We're going to turn it over to the other side of the tent, of this wall, and we're going to get ready for the rest of the program. So, thank you folks, and I will see you over there. We begin with honor and respect for the land and its people to this land. We are on the ancestral homelands of the Pawnee people. The organizing committee members, staff, volunteers, and all of our attendees recognize that the Pawnee have a spiritual connection with these lands in the past, present, and future. Specifically here in central Nebraska, we seek to celebrate and honor the Pawnee Scouts and their descendants. We know as a committee and a community that this celebration and event today needs to extend beyond this recognition. Instead, we must continue a much larger journey of listening, learning, building of relationships, and advocating for and with the Pawnee Nation for a better and brighter future. So folks, if you've heard anything about any of the 150th anniversary stuff happening in Kearny, you know, that little town that's about 15 miles just north and west of where we're at right now, this is part of this program, and this, I truly feel, is supersedes all of that planning and that work and the events that we've done throughout this year. And so it's only fitting that this is really one of the last 150 events that we have taking place this year, recognizing not only that we have history that goes back 150 years when Kearny was founded as a community, but also all of this history and the people that were first here. So please, let's do a round of applause and a good welcome to the Pawnee people. Welcome them back to Fort Kearny. This is the first call for dancers.
All right. I'd just like to acknowledge that this is the 20th anniversary of the Pawnee Seed Preservation Society in Nebraska. And I encourage everyone to enjoy the harvest exhibit that's here and visit with the Pawnee folks after the dancing here in the arena ends. I'd also like to introduce the Nebraska Army National Guard. They would like to make a presentation right now. Thank you.
Hello again, everyone. I just wanted to say once again, thanks for allowing us to be here today. And just got a quick word I want to say about, to continue on with what I said in the tent, about trying to continue the lineage of your great Pawnee Scouts. So one thing that we've had across the Guard, across the country, you have a lot of change in organizations. And we continue to change and modify ourselves to adapt to what the country needs for the next generation and so on. So one thing that we always try to strive to do that we consider very sacred in the Nebraska Army National Guard is our cavalry unit. We've literally had a turnover over the last 50 years or so of almost every unit, but that's one thing that we've kept very, very close to our hearts is our cavalry unit. Again, it goes back to what the Pawnee Scouts did initially. Again, when I enlisted, I was a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout, so that holds a close part in my heart and always will after 30-some years of being in the military. But what we have done, if you look at the gift that we gave on the plaque, it has a patch of what our 1st and 134th Cavalry Squadron, what they've taken on is their personal pride patch that they wear is the logo for your tribe, and they asked permission to do that, and you graciously allowed us to take that logo and put it on our unit patch, and so we're forever grateful for that. So I just want to make one more presentation. Actually, I'm not going to do it. Major Rose is going to do it. So once again, thank you for allowing us to be here today. It's a great honor. But Major Rose, if you can come up and give this next gift, please. Thank you again.
Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. I want to take a short amount of time today to talk about the Cavalry Stetson and how this ties into the Pawnee Scouts. So the Stetson was the headgear typical of a cavalryman during the late 1800s as they patrolled the American West on horseback. The Stetson was distinctive. It immediately identified the soldier as an elite cavalryman. The cavalryman was a brave soldiers who conducted the dangerous scouting missions out in front of the main force to find and attack the enemy. An interesting note, when the American Civil War kicked off, they mustered the Nebraska militia and sent them to fight in the Civil War. That left the plains unguarded. That was the reason for the creation of the Pawnee Scouts. The Pawnee Scouts they protected the settlers and the railroad on the plains. They were fierce warriors. They packed lighter, they could move farther and faster than the American cavalry and the American main forces. Today, the modern cavalry has adopted the Stetson as its ceremonial headgear. The modern day cavalry, they ride into battle not on horseback, but on a specially designed truck or an armored vehicle. They move ahead of the main force, they scout and find the enemy, and report that back to the commander to attack it with the main force. That mission, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what the Pawnee Scouts did in the late 1800s when they patrolled the Nebraska prairies. Their tenaciousness in battle was legendary. The U.S. Army utilized the scout skills to scout out, to trail the hostile native tribes and attack them with ferociousness. Today, this Stetson is a mark of distinction. It represents the history and the bravery of the horse-mounted cavalry soldiers of old and the Pawnee Scouts who served alongside the American cavalry. This Stetson represents the bravery of those units and especially the Pawnee Scouts. This Stetson represents the fierceness of their warrior spirit. It was unequaled in battle during that time frame. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, could I have Pius Spotted Horse Chief come forward, please? A little bit about this Stetson. This is my personal Stetson that I wore when I was the commander of C Troop 134 Cavalry in Beatrice, Nebraska. It has the cross sabers of the cavalry, my major rank. On the back, it has the unit crest of the 134 Cav, and our motto, the strong and the brave. Mr. Spotted Horse Chief, I want to present to you, as a gift from the Nebraska National Guard, this Cavalry Stetson with a thank you from the Nebraska National Guard for the Pawnee Scouts service to our nation and the great state of Nebraska.
Yay!
I would like to ask for Ronnie O'Brien and Deb Echohawk to the stage. I guess they did a gift exchange right up here, folks. Oh, they're doing one.
Oh my God. Oh no. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
So we've got more surprises. So I was told by Gene Hunt that he found something in his pocket, and he's got, I guess, another surprise.
Other pants outfit that I was wearing this morning.
And it is a belt buckle for commemorating the 150 years of Fort Kearny from 1848 to 1998. Only four left. remain standing.
Come.
That's a Pawnee word for hello. So my name is Adrian Spotted Horse Chief, and I've been asked to say a little bit of something about these songs that we have here. I'm a former Pawnee language and history teacher at Pawnee Public Schools. And I grew up with my grandparents. And when I grew up with my grandparents, I got to be around a lot of older folks. My Pawnee name is Asawakiri, means Spotted Horse Chief. The last name of our family. My brother was recognized here earlier, Pius Spotted Horse Chief. He's the president of our Pawnee Indian Veterans Organization. And so we are thankful to be here. We got a lot of Pawnee relatives that made their way up here. I'm always looking for an opportunity to come up here to Nebraska because, like everybody's been saying, this is our homelands. A lot of our growing up with my grandparents, I heard a lot of stories about these homelands here in Nebraska, all over the state. And I'm thankful for the recognition that our scouts are receiving here today. I think it's been long overdue, but to hear that proclamation really touched my heart and lifted up my spirits and stuff because like we talk about at home, we did a lot. We risked a lot to help this country here. We did it for survival, for the fact that we wanted to keep our homelands. And that's how it was relayed to us. An enemy of my enemy is our friend. And then so when these other tribes start coming around, they were like essentially refugees, so to speak. They were pushed from the east out to the west. And it's not like where you hear, I always hear people saying, well, you guys were fighting long before we got here. Well, we were fighting because you forced them here. And then we ended up having to fight for the food, the resources, and then everything became what it was, And then so we was promised that, we help, and then that we'll keep our place, we'll keep our lands. And even though no one talks about this kind of stuff, it's the truth of what happened, So we ended up losing our homelands, and we moved to Oklahoma, We had to for survival. Back in the late 1700s to early 1800s, we had 45,000+ people in our tribe, and other estimates had us around 100,000. We had our Arikara relatives who are here today. We had our Wichita relatives to the south, and when we was all united at one time, we were the Plains tribe. All the way from Oklahoma, all the way up to South Dakota, Colorado, all the way to the Missouri River over there around Iowa, This was our land, So all the buildings, all the crops, the roads, they sit on top of our ancestors, that lived here way before us, So a lot of the stories that I heard, a lot of wonderful stories. We have holy places, we have sacred places, we have hunting areas, that a lot of folks, enjoy today, And so, these songs that we sing, that the singers are rendering here today, they tell stories. We didn't have a writing system like everybody does nowadays. So we put our stories into these songs. A lot of these songs talk about wonderful, holy things, talk about war battles, war deeds, talked about mysterious things that we've seen that happen. Times have changed, and if you knew the language, if you knew these songs, they tell you about what time frame and the Pawnee history and culture of where things happened. One of the oldest songs that we have that we know, we have some real old ones, but dated, we have a song that went to 1542. It was the first ever experience that we had of meeting somebody that wasn't a native. And there were Spaniards that were coming up right up into this area here, in the Nebraska area. And our Pawnees then, we didn't have horses. A lot of folks think that, horses are always around, but we didn't have horses. And then so our Pawnees, our scouts that we had, they went out and they saw these people. The way it was relayed to me, it was like aliens. They never seen nothing like that before. They didn't know what was going on. They seen these men on these animals they never saw, and they had this armor on, that Spanish armor, those coat of armor, those chain link stuff, and on the sun it was shining, and they didn't know what to think. So our warriors, they got on foot and they went down there. So when they went down there, they watched them. They seen how they were moving. The Spaniards didn't even know anything that they were even being watched. And so in that song it talks about, it tells them, it talks about how they went closer. They walked on foot and they kept going and they was getting closer. But that song is when we first acquired horses. We attacked those Spaniards and we killed a lot of those Spaniards and we got their horses because we said we need those. We need those. And then so that was it was written in them Spanish explorers in their logbooks, and it was 1542. And that's when their encounter was with us. And ever since then, when them Spaniards would come around, we would fight them off, But after a while, it became inevitable that more and more people were coming, and we had to start changing our way of thinking. And then so we start trying to make alliances and allies, with different ones, But anyway, these songs that we have songs here for our flags. We have modern day songs. We have songs about World War II. We have songs about Afghanistan, Iraq. We have a song that might be sung today that talks about Saddam Hussein, It talks about us going over there and we've got a lot of kids here, but it kind of talks rough about what we did to Saddam Hussein, And so, but these are the kind of songs that we have that tells about our history. We talk about our other battles with other tribes. We talk about songs that have to do with scouts. We talk about the Creator God, how He blesses us and how He takes care of us. We have songs, I think I heard one song earlier talking about our migration down to Oklahoma. So these songs, when you hear these songs, they tell us, even our own folks, about our time, So when we have our songs, when you hear these songs, we even have some that don't have words in them, but yet they got meanings behind them. And so a lot of history that we have that are sung in these songs here. We have our dancers here. A lot of times when we do these performances and these shows, sometimes we just let you guys watch and then no one explains what's going on, and so you guys don't know, But some of these dancers, how we have here, was my Tiwichitik, so it means uncle right here, Junior Pratt. He's dressed up as scouts, and my little nephew's here. If y'all stand up here real quick. These are kind of dressed like how our scouts would have been a long time ago. And my uncle here, he wears this cap here that he has. Someone asked earlier, what does that wolf signify? Well, we got that from our enemies, because we had societies, we had warrior societies, and those societies, some of them would wear these caps here, and they'd emulate them wolves when they'd go out to hunt, or they'd go out to scout, or they'd go out to fight. And then they would watch, they'd learn from the animals, they'd watch how those wolves would hunt, how they would attack, and then that's how we emulated that. So when our enemies would see us coming around, or see some of those societies wearing that, that's what they would call us, wolves. And that stuck with us. So a lot of our symbolism that we have in our Pawnee Nation, you go onto our website, you'll see that wolf, and that's why is because we were good. We paid attention to our animal relatives and how they lived out here in the world, and we learned from that. So our folks, our ancestors, they picked up on those things, and we utilized that to our ability to how to hunt, to how to track, and then so our enemies, they had to find that out the hard way sometimes, So we have our dancers here. We have a lot of our little younger people here. If you look here too, there's some dancers here that have these bear claw necklaces. And a long time ago, I was just telling an individual here too, those not everybody got to wear those bear claw necklaces back in the days. You had to prove yourself in battle. You had to face death, or you had to go out and get that bear yourself. There used to be an animal out here that lived out here in the Nebraska plains called the Plains Grizzly. They're no longer in existence. They all been killed off. But that's what our ancestors used. They used to use those bear claw necklaces. And that showed a great deal of power, you know. And it was like a sign to other people, other tribes that, you know, like that saying, you could mess around and find out, you know, how serious that person is, you know. And so nowadays, you know, we wear them, you know, to kind of show about how our Pawnee ancestors used to dress, you know. And so these are little things that they have here. You know, have buckskin leggings, they have broadcloth leggings that we got from trade. And then so we also have our women dancers here too. You know, they wear these cloth dresses, a lot of things that they got throughout the years through trade. And then we also wear these eagle feathers that are sacred to us. They're holy things, because to us that eagle's the thing that flies, the animal that flies the closest to the Creator in the heavens. You know, and so I just wanted to share a little bit with you so that you guys know, when you're sitting here looking at our relatives here that are dancing, you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. Same thing here with these songs here. The songs that they're talking about, they're singing about here, they tell stories. They tell things about in our past, you know, and a lot of that uplifts us, you know. Some of our families have family songs that they only sung is at a certain time when they've been requested, you know. And so there's certain times that we have back at home, back in Pawnee. We have social dances, and we have ceremonial dances that you might not only hear, that might be the only time you hear some of these songs. And so I want to thank you all for being here, taking the time out of your life to be here today, to share this time here with us. I know my Pawnee relatives here are thankful to be here. And like I said, any chance you get an opportunity to come back here to the homelands, you know, we always try to do that, you know. So I want to thank you guys for having us here. Treating us real good, this food, you know, the acknowledgement, you know, our gardeners. We have a lot of Nebraskans up here that have been real good to us, Pawnee people, you know, and it's good to see some of them here today. Also, too, I want to give a shout out here to, we got some of our relatives here that got, they brought items for sale here, Pawnee made items. I got an uncle back here that's a well-known artist. We also have another woman over here. She's got some artwork here, and I've got some some jewelry and some shirts over here. And I don't know if we got some other people, but a lot of our folks, you know, they made stuff and brought stuff up here that they could hopefully you guys be interested in purchasing and taking a little Pawnee item home with you all today. So thankful to be here once again. It's great to see that teepee setting up here. Good to see our Rickera relatives that made their way here. And so that's all I want to say here. So if you guys have any questions, we got a lot of Pawnee people here that might be able to answer those questions for you. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Dee Scouts are out on the plains. They see each other. Who are you? I'm Pawnee. That's good.
That's good.
What do you see? I see a lot of Indians. Ooh, he said, do it again, Gunny, slower. Who are the Indians? Andy, they're Sioux. They're cutthroats, Pahuxacut. He said they're Sioux. That's good, he said. How many of them are there? There's 30. How many guns do they have? They have 30. That's good. Which way are they going? They're going to the south. That's good. Let's go fight them. That's good. Pawnees, badasses. Ho. Pawnees, badasses. So that's what they said in Pawnee. Give these two young men a round of applause. That's real sign language right there that they did for each other. And that last signal, they always go like that. They always do that for me too. So, hey. And so we have a lot of fun because our Indian people communicated in a lot of ways. Okay. And this was actually universally understood also. Some of the signals and signs, they're ours, but there was a universal language. And so they know some of that. I do teach the Pawnee language in the public school system. And there's no fluent speakers left anymore, but there's partial fluency, and some of them are here today. And so we're glad that you're here to celebrate our relatives way back and what they did. They never fought against the United States. The Pawnees never fought against the United States. In fact, there's a lot of other Indian tribes that when they see the Pawnees, they consider us as almost like traitors because we fought against them. But what they don't understand is that when the Pawnees saw other Indian tribes, we didn't see them as someone like us. We saw them as somebody completely different than us. And we would go to war with them. And we fought whoever it was. It didn't matter. And a lot of the reason why our Indian men, our Pawnees, signed up for the Scouts was so they could go out and fight. Because they was on a reservation. And that way of life had left. And then when they had the chance to, and the army came and said, well, we're getting a company together, there was more than they could take. And as they were shipped off and on a train heading to camp, those Pawnees were following them, still wanted to join because they wanted to get back in that battle. And that's where the Pawnee Scouts came from. And we did. We protected a lot of our settlers that come through here, and they protected the railroad builders that were coming through here, and they proudly served in the United States Army, as these gentlemen over here do too, and women. So we always support our servicemen and women wherever they are. So we're direct descendants of these Pawnee Scouts that served faithfully, never lost a battle, and never left a man behind. That's the Pawnee Scouts. Thank you.